Okay, so I made episode 46, but I said some things that I shouldn't have, and YouTube took that one down. So this is basically episode 46, 47, 48. I spent last night in the psych ward, and now tonight I'm at the Mountain View Police Department because this is where I'm sleeping. They told me I could sleep here because they took my tent and sleeping bag when they took me to the psych ward, and then when I went to pick it up, they said, "Oh, sorry, that's locked up, and person with the keys are not here." So here I am, stuck, and you know what? I just realized that I don't have the paper. Hopefully the picture will be good enough. What a bummer. That's gonna suck. Anyway, I had to buy the cheapest sleeping bag that Walmart had. Couldn't find any beds in overnight, and it's gonna be about 50, and so without a sleeping bag it'll be pretty chilly. So anyway, got a sleeping bag. I'm gonna make it through the night. I'm not too worried about it. It's very interesting sleeping outside. I mean, a lot of people do it all the time, and maybe a little bit better than sleeping in the tent. I wish I would have been able to get another small sleeping bag. This one's kind of big, but it's kind of more it's thicker, even though it's rated for the same temperature. So I don't know if it actually is a little bit better, but I'm on concrete, so I was hoping that a little bit of extra thickness, plus I didn't have the extra money for the same exact bag that I have, which is a small one, so it can fit in more confined spaces. And I fit that and my sleeping bag in a backpack, a regular size backpack. So here we are, gonna do tonight. Now I'm hoping to get a little bit more sleep than normal because, well, I don't have to get up and get up and get out of there. I can just lay here and sleep through the morning. Yeah, what a life this is. This is weird, it's crazy, but it's really not that bad, like sleeping out under. I can kind of see stars, even with the city lights. The psych ward did bring a new appreciation for things because it's probably one of the worst psych wards out there. It was so filthy, so disgusting. People were peeing their pants in the seats, and another woman peed while waiting for the nurse to help her to her wheelchair, and then other guys that worked there just sat and watched. And it's just, a guy threatened to rape another guy. Like, it was out of control. I mean, it had to have been similar to a jail, except in a jail, they probably, if you acted like some of these people did, they would probably yell at you. Whereas they only really yelled at people when they really got out of control, and when they were irritated. Like a guy said he was going to beat up a girl, and they told the girl to move, and were like meaner to the girl than the guy. Like, it was crazy. Then that same guy was tormenting other people, threatening other people, and they're just like, oh well, and then people were like falling asleep that work there. It was so crazy. I don't even know how that place exists, but they're billing, the insurance companies, the Medi-Cal, and I think it's mostly Medi-Cal, and it's mostly like addicts and unhoused people, and they just have quite a racket. It's insane. The amount of waste is just insane. I mean, I it was very eye-opening of how much we need the asylums back, and just how bad some of these hospitals are, because I mean, it can't possibly be the worst one. I mean, this is Silicon Valley, so it just can't possibly be the worst one. So it's like, what do the worst ones look like? It's very eye-opening. So anyway, yeah, this is like 46, 47, 48, because in the psych ward I couldn't use my phone, couldn't create an episode, and basically got handcuffed in the middle of the library. That was crazy. They probably thought I was in big trouble, but they just took me, instead of Stanford, they took me there much further, because Stanford's a good hospital. This hospital is for just like, it's just a big open room, and people are just like sleeping on these like fold out chair things. It was just, it's mind-blowing. It's like what you would expect a homeless shelter, like a crappy homeless shelter, a filthy crappy homeless shelter. Not even enough places for people to eat, like sitting at tables, and just stinky people, and they're just walking around spraying stuff around the stinky people instead of having them shower. It just is so weird. So my mind is so blown. I could talk about it for a while. I did talk about it for like over an hour earlier. It was mind-blowing. So anyway, I'm ready for some sleep, excited for some sleep. And honestly, this concrete is as comfortable as that bed was. Like, I told the nurse that my back hurt, and was wondering when I was going to be, get a different kind of bed. And she said the next day, because it was like a longer, inpatient, where this is like an emergency, like holding area, but they kept people for a long time. And instead of keeping me 72 hours, I was like out of there in 27. They're like, no, you're out of here. As soon as I started, they were going to keep me, and then as soon as I started calling out their crap, then they're like, yeah, it's time for you to go. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind staying. And they're like, no, you're not staying. So anyway, and there were so many things that they should have held me for at least 72 hours. And the fact that they didn't, just mind-boggling. And the other mind-boggling part is they're like, sorry, you're just gonna have to be cold tonight. I mean, I did have kind of enough time to maybe get a bed, maybe. I don't know, all of them were full by the time you called, but yeah, what a life. This is so eye-opening, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, well, good night. Talk to you tomorrow.